Coming from India, I can tell you that India and Russia are time-tested friends. Our friendship is not dependent on any third-party validation. So sanctions or no sanctions, India will always stand by Russia. And I always tell my American and European friends that you need to understand why India and Russia are such great friends. You have to read history. You have to go back to history. So my message is that more there should be greater partnership between India and Russia. It should not be based on any specific incident. It should not be based on any specific agenda. I think there is so much of common between the two countries, and Prime Minister Modi and President Putin also share a lot of warmth and personal bonding. So with this personal bonding and warmth and the friendship and partnership between Russia and India, I think more companies should invest in India, more Indian companies should explore Russia, and I think I'm very hopeful and optimistic about the future. Despite the sanctions and tariffs and the threat from White House, from US, asking India to stop buying Russian oil, we did not buckle under the pressure, because we are a self-respecting nation. We want to follow the path of multi-alignment. Okay, we'll talk to everyone. We'll talk to Washington, we'll talk to Moscow, we'll talk to Tehran, we'll talk to everyone. But we will do whatever is in the best interest of 1.4 billion Indians. Because, the prosperity of 1.4 billion Indians is what matters to us. So my advice my appeal to all the nations would be that, do not blindly follow the West. Do not blindly yield under the pressure of the US. You can't dictate terms to India, no nation. And US has learnt it the hard way. For the last 1 year, we were at the receiving end of the tantrums of White House, but we didn't buckle under pressure. We said no. Our friendship and partnership with Russia is different from our friendship and partnership with other countries. So you can't tell us, you can't ask us to stop dealing with Russia. You can't dictate terms to us. You can't ask us to condemn Russia. We didn't do that. Okay, despite immense pressure from the West, particularly from the US. And I think now there is greater appreciation for India's stand. India is a very, very self-respecting nation. So strategic autonomy, that is our foreign policy doctrine. And no amount of pressure from any Western power can change our mind. The UN architecture was structured in 1945. How can you not have the entire continent of Africa in the Security Council? How can you not have a country like India, which is the largest democracy, the most populous nation on earth, fourth largest economy, not being part of the Security Council? This is why we need alternate platforms, alternate governance structures like the BRICS or G20 to come forward for today's world. UN Security Council, the IMF, the World Bank, where there is virtually no voice for the global South. G20, there was no African nation in G20. During the presidency of India in 2023, India brought in African Union as the 21st member. So India naturally became the voice of the global South. And I'm grateful for this kind of forum where the global South is participating as an equal partner. Otherwise, in the high table of geopolitics, it's usually the Western capitals that dominate, whether it's in Washington DC or Geneva or any multilateral body. But this is an event, a platform where you have far greater representation of global South, far greater participation of global South, and their voice is heard. So I will thank Russia for giving such an opportunity to the global South.